In the 1500s, Spain became the richest empire on Earth. Ships crossed the Atlantic Ocean carrying unimaginable treasure. Gold and silver poured into Europe. The Spanish crown controlled vast territories across the Americas, stretching from Mexico to Peru. By every visible measure, Spain was unstoppable. And yet, in the same century, Spain was bankrupt. Not once, not twice, but multiple times. How can a nation drown in gold and still go broke? This is the story of how unimaginable wealth destroyed an empire. Everything began in 1492, when Christopher Columbus sailed west under the Spanish flag. His voyages opened the door to a new world of conquest and opportunity. In the decades that followed, conquistadors like Hernán Cortés defeated the mighty Aztec Empire, while Francisco Pizarro conquered the wealthy Inca Empire. These civilizations possessed enormous reserves of gold and silver. Spain seized them. Then came something even bigger: mining. In places like Potosí, in modern-day Bolivia, one of the richest silver mines in history began producing staggering amounts of precious metal. Between 1500 and 1650, Spain imported thousands of tons of silver into Europe. At the time, this was the greatest influx of wealth the world had ever seen. Spain wasn't just rich, it was overflowing with money. But something strange began to happen. Prices started rising. Bread cost more, rent increased, clothing became expensive. This period became known as the Price Revolution. Here's what happened. When Spain flooded Europe with silver, the total money supply exploded. And when there is more money in circulation, but the same amount of goods, prices rise. It's basic economics. Too much money chasing too few goods. Ironically, the very silver that made Spain rich also triggered massive inflation. Workers' wages did not rise as fast as prices. Ordinary people struggled. The cost of living soared. Instead of investing this wealth into agriculture, manufacturing, or infrastructure, Spain relied almost entirely on American treasure. Why build industries when ships arrive full of silver every year? Gradually, Spain stopped producing enough goods domestically. It began importing products from other European nations. Silver flowed in from the Americas and flowed straight out to pay for foreign goods. Spain was becoming dependent. At the same time, the empire was fighting costly wars. Under King Philip II of Spain, Spain tried to dominate Europe. It fought long conflicts against France, the Dutch Republic, the Ottoman Empire, and even England. The attempt to invade England with the Spanish Armada in 1588 ended in disaster. Wars are expensive. Armies must be paid, ships must be built, weapons must be manufactured. Even mountains of silver were not enough to cover the costs. So Spain did what many governments do when spending exceeds revenue. It borrowed. Spanish kings took massive loans from powerful European banking families. They assumed silver shipments would continue forever, but reality had other plans. Some treasure fleets were lost to storms. Others were attacked by pirates. Corruption drained resources. Silver production fluctuated. Meanwhile, debt kept growing. In 1557, Spain declared bankruptcy. Then again in 1575, and again in 1596. The richest empire in the world could not pay its debts. Today, economists call this phenomenon the resource curse. When a country depends too heavily on natural resources, it often neglects long-term economic development. Easy money reduces the incentive to innovate. Instead of building factories and financial institutions, Spain relied on extraction. Meanwhile, other nations were evolving. The Dutch developed advanced banking systems and trade networks. The English strengthened their navy and expanded global commerce. Financial innovation began shifting north. Spain had gold, but its rivals built systems, and in the long run, systems are more powerful than treasure. By the 1600s, Spain's dominance began to fade. Inflation weakened the economy, debt burdened the crown, military defeats damaged prestige. The empire that once controlled a global flow of silver was slowly declining. Spain's story teaches one of the most important lessons in financial history. Wealth alone does not create prosperity. Sustainable economic power requires production, innovation, discipline, and diversification. Gold can make a nation rich, but if mismanaged, it can also make it fragile. Sometimes too much easy money is more dangerous than too little. The fall of Spain wasn't caused by poverty, it was caused by dependence. And that lesson still echoes in modern economies today, because history doesn't just tell us what happened, it shows us what can happen again.